how to do a standing cat-cow. Standing cat-cows have become a favorite. They're really good for a couple reasons. One, because it's a really good one to feel that fascial length through the body in a movement. It's also a really good one to start to learn how to gently activate pelvic floor and that deep core, and which thus can give your belly more support for those round ligaments and help to give them more support so that the pain in time slowly goes away. And I am, again, a firm believer that when we effectively strengthen the deep core, the round ligament pain goes away. Okay, so Kaylin, hands on the chair there, walk on back. And so when we're doing a cat-cow, the most important thing is that we're not just sinking. Can you kind of show how not to do it, where you're just like sinking into it? And like, she's very hypermobile here. So, but we want to just not like go into a deep stretch. What we want to do is we want hands reaching and pushing into the chair, reaching through those fingertips, and then think about energy going out through the sits bones and then down into the feet. So wiggle your toes a little bit. Yep, so wiggle those toes into the mat and think about kind of grabbing with your toes, grabbing with your arches so we feel some more feedback from our feet. Believe it or not, yes, that arch of the foot, the toes, there is a fascial line that comes up and connects through the inner thighs, up through the pelvic floor, deep into the body, all the way into the skull. So if we start to think about that, we want to start to lengthen these lines, but with support. So we're actively stretching while also strengthening. Okay, so to begin with, we want to think about that breath going down, out wide into the sides of the ribs, even all the way down out to the sides of the hips. And then we gently, with our exhale, draw that diamond shape, that pelvic floor gently together, and think about starting to round into the lower back and rounding, rounding, rounding all the way up, letting the head go. Make sure we're pushing between the shoulder blades and not up into the upper traps. And then as we go down, lead with the head. Think about like a turtle, bringing its head up out of its shell, opening up and pressing. So we've got this nice connection down from like the triceps, the shoulders, down into the ribs, forward. So we're getting a little bit of core support here, but it's very gentle. We definitely want to make sure if we're ever really feeling the abs like engage a lot, we're probably overactive. It should feel very gentle. And so then that inhale is breathing out wide, nice and wide. We feel space back there, and that diamond shape, we feel space. And then we want to think about exhale, gently activating the pelvic floor, rounding, 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 coming up. So we're getting that support from underneath the belly, and it's very gentle. We don't notice any coning. So if you glance down at your belly, it should be lightly rounded and flat. We shouldn't see that kind of alien coning coming out of the belly. And then inhale, you want to lengthen on back, so head comes up out of your chest. We feel a nice connection. And as you continue to work on these, it's about finding a deeper space with the breath, finding a little bit deeper connection from the pelvic floor. And the more that we work on this, it's actually about being lighter with our connections and not over activating. Okay, go ahead and round and come all the way up. Beautiful.